Hey everybody, this is Steve Schulz, President of Field Operations here at SendOutCards, and this is understanding the compensation plan and how to get promoted. Now, I have been in this industry for 26 years, and what I have found out after building a business is that with SendOutCards' compensation plan, yes, you can make a bunch of money going out there and signing up customers. I mean, you can earn up to 20% on all of the customer volume from your personal customers. But I also know from this industry that you can make as much money as you want to make by building a team of people that go out there and do that exact same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk through our different promotion levels, talk a little bit about the strategy in getting promoted through our compensation plan. Then I'm going to talk about the residual income that can be made and make sure that you understand our customer acquisition bonuses. So obviously, when you first get involved with SendOutCards, if you're interested in building a team, the first promotion level is the position of manager. Now, to become a manager, you have to have $124 in personal customer qualifying volume. Now, this is you and all of your personal customers. You need at least $124 in volume, of which you personally can count for 31 of that $124. You also need 3 distributors on your first level, and you have to have $1,200 in cumulative qualifying volume. So you take all the volume that has been created by you and your customers since the day that you started. Cumulative here, it has to be $1,200. Now, when that happens, you're going to get promoted to manager. And as a manager, you are going to earn a $140 commission every time that you sell one of our marketing bundles. And what I'm going to base all of this off is our marketing bundle. Obviously, you can double these commissions when you sell our business bundles or cut it in half if you sell our personal bundles. You can earn a $100 customer acquisition bonus. So that's a grand total of $240 for every one of those marketing bundles that you personally sell. And you're going to receive an additional 5% in leadership volume. In other words, the residuals that you make, you're going to receive an additional 5% on every single level, levels 1 through 7, but that additional 5% is paid to an unlimited number of levels. Now, to be qualified to be paid as a manager, all you have to do is maintain $500 in group qualifying volume every single month so that you are paid as a manager. Now, the next position that you want to promote to is called senior manager. Now, to become a senior manager, your personal customer qualifying volume goes to 217. All right, you can count for 31 of that 217. You need 3 more distributors on level 1 and a grand total of 12 distributors in your manager group. So once you become a manager, you have to sponsor at least 3 more people on your front line, and you have to have a grand total of 12 distributors in that manager group. Now, you could sponsor all 12 of them on your front line if you wanted to, and that would be fine. Now, you also have to have $4,800 in cumulative qualifying volume. Now, once this all happens, it happens. And now as a senior manager, when you go out there and sell one of those marketing bundles, yes, you get the $140 commission, but now you can earn up to $150 in customer acquisition bonuses, and you receive an additional 5% in leadership volume. So now you're up to 10% added to those residuals paid to an unlimited number of levels. Now, to maintain your eligibility to get paid as a senior manager, you have to maintain $2,000 in group qualifying volume every single month in order to be paid as a senior manager. Now, the next level that you want to promote to is executive. Now, as an executive, to get there, you have to have personal customer qualifying volume of $310. Once again, you personally can count for $31 of that $310. You have to sponsor at least 1 new distributor in your senior manager group. Okay, you just got promoted to senior manager. You have to sponsor at least 1 person. Now, I'm showing you the example of 3 here, but you have to at least sponsor 1. Now, I guarantee you that you're probably going to need to sponsor more than 1, more than 2, probably even more than 3 to make this really, really work, because somewhere inside your senior manager group, you have to find 5 people who become senior managers themselves. Okay, so you've got the 310 in personal customer qualifying volume. You've got 5 people inside your senior manager group that became senior managers themselves, and you have to have $10,000 in group qualifying volume on levels 0 through 7. When it happens, it happens. But when it does happen, and you become an executive and you sell a marketing bundle, you still get the $140 commission, but now you're getting paid up to $180 in customer acquisition bonuses, and you receive an additional 5% in that leadership volume. So now you're going to get paid up to 15%, up to an additional 15% on all the volume from the customers in your entire organization. Now, the next level that you want to promote to is senior executive. As a senior executive, in order to get there, your personal customer qualifying volume jumps to 403. Once again, you can count for $31 of that 403. You have to bring in at least one person. Okay, you have to bring in at least one distributor in your executive code. Once again, I'm showing you an example of 3 here, but I will teach you that you need to go out there and sponsor, a few more than 3 in order to make this really, really happen, because inside your executive room here, you have to find 2 people, just 2 people who become executives the same way that you did, and you have to have $50,000 in group qualifying volume that's on levels 0 through 7. When it happens, it happens, but as a senior executive now, when you personally sell a marketing bundle, you're going to receive that $140 commission, but you're also going to receive up to $190 in customer acquisition bonuses. And once again, you get an additional 5%. So now you're getting paid up to 20% as far as leadership volume is concerned. An extra 20% on all the volume from your customers, paid to an unlimited number of levels. Finally, the last position and the highest position in our company is called Eagle. Now, to promote to the position of Eagle, your personal and customer qualifying volume needs to be 496, of which you personally can count for $31 of that. And then inside your senior executive group, you have to sponsor at least one. Once again, I'm just showing you the example of 3, but you have to sponsor at least one, because inside your senior executive group here, once again, you have to find 2 people who also promote to the position of executive, and you need $100,000 in group qualifying volume on levels 0 through 7. When it happens, it happens. But now as an Eagle, let's say you went out and sold a marketing bundle, you still get that $140 commission, but as an Eagle now, you get paid up to $195 for in customer acquisition bonuses, and you get an additional 5% in leadership volume. So you're going to get paid up to 25% on all the volume from all of your customers throughout your entire organization. Now, one of the things that I like to do with distributors is make sure that they stay focused. Because when you take a look at all these different promotion levels, guys, don't worry about promoting to Eagle unless you're a senior executive. And if you're not a senior executive, then you need to concentrate on becoming an executive. And if you're not an executive, then you need to concentrate on becoming a senior manager. And if you're not a senior manager yet, then the only thing you need to know is how to become a manager. And if you are brand new in the business, the only thing you need to concentrate on is becoming a manager. All right, it's step by step by step by step. I guarantee you this, you will fully understand the next promotion level. If you're brand new in the business today and you're like, how do I get to Eagle? It can be very confusing. Just get to manager, and then just get to senior manager, then get to executive and senior executive, and then worry about that Eagle position. But one of the things that I want people to do is to concentrate and work with the right people. Somebody said to me one time, they said, Steve, if you had a chance to do it all over again, what would you do differently? And I said, work with the right people. Because a lot of times in my career, I tried to drag people across the finish line of success. It's like, no. Work with the willing. Work with the people who actually want this for themselves and for their families. So the question is, well, how do we know who those people are? Well, if you go to the Resource Center, I want you to go to go to your website and then go to the Resource Center. When you click on the company tab up on the top here, this drop-down menu comes down and says Resource Center. Click on Resource Center, and then I want you to click on Downloads, and then scroll all the way down to where it says Senior Manager Worksheet. Now, to get to Manager, I just told you that you just need those 3 distributors, $124 in volume, personal customer volume, and then $1,200 in cumulative qualifying volume. You can do that relatively easy. Now, to become a senior manager, I want you to click on this Senior Manager Worksheet, because when you fill in all of the blanks, that means that you're a senior manager. It just keeps you focused. And if you are already a senior manager trying to get to executive, what I want you to do is I want you to print out 5 of these and pick out 5 people in your senior manager organization and help them get to senior manager. So you're saying to yourself, okay, when I have 5 people who have successfully, filled out this worksheet, that means I'm going to get promoted to executive. And then once you become an executive, once again, you can use the senior manager worksheet and work with 2 people who want to become executive, all right, and teach them how to use the senior manager worksheet and have them work with 5 people, because they need 5 people to become senior managers in order to promote to executive. And if you have 2 people do that, then you become a senior exec. So in other words, guys, what I'm trying to tell you is that when building an organization like this, it really is a team effort. It really, really is a team effort. And with the senior manager worksheet, right here, it just keeps people focused on who they should work with. Now, let's talk about the residuals in our business. Like I said before, you can make an awful lot of money just signing up personal customers. And you can earn up to 20% on all of the volume from your personal customers. You just have to make sure that you have $93 in personal customer volume, of which you have a $31 subscription. Okay, make sure that you're a preferred customer, and then you can start picking up that 20% on your personal customers. But look at the residuals. I want to walk through the residuals with you in building a team of people. So let's just say, for example, that you came in as a brand new distributor. And what I found out about network marketing is that network marketing is a whole bunch of people who do just a little bit. So let's just say, for example, that you went out and you found 3 people who wanted to become a distributor. And you taught those 3 people to do the exact same thing. So you'd have 9 distributors on your second level, 27 on your third, 81 on your fourth. If you carried that out over 7 generations, if you added up all of these distributors on levels 1 through 7, you would have over 3,200 distributors in your group. Not bad, right? That's leverage. Now, I told you before that on the percentages, okay, the residuals that you make are paid on levels 1 through 7 as a distributor. So on levels 1 through 6, you're going to pick up a 2% override. On level 7, you're going to pick up a 5%. So the only question that I have for you is, okay, how many customers do you think all of these distributors will sign up? And the second thing is, what do you think the volume of all of those customers is going to be? Well, I'm going to let you do the math, because whatever it is on levels 1 through 6, multiply that by 2%, and on level 7, multiply it by 5%. And I guarantee you guys, when you put the numbers in here, because I'm not going to tell you, how many, I have no idea how many customers these people are going to sign up. I don't know who they're going to sign up. I don't know what the volume is. You do it yourself. And I guarantee you, you're going to lose sleep at night. But watch this. When you promote from distributor to manager, and you go out there and do the exact same thing, okay, 3 who get 3, 7 levels deep. But look what happens to the commission. Instead of picking up 2% on levels 1 through 6, you get that additional 5%. So now you're getting 7%, 10% on the 7th level. Well, that 5% that you pick up, that extra 5% as a manager, that is paid to an unlimited number of levels. So now you're going to have distributors on levels 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, paid to an unlimited number of levels. Once again, how big will your team be? How many customers are they going to sign up? What's the volume of those customers? And you can multiply it by these percentages. Now, when you promote to senior manager, look what happens. Instead of 7%, you get an additional 5%. So now you're getting 12%, 15 on the 7th level. But now, instead of 5% to infinity, you're going to get paid up to 10%. Once again, how big do you think your team can be? Every time that you get promoted, say you got promoted to executive, just add an additional 5% to the residuals. How big do you think your executive team can be? Senior executive, another 5%. How big do you think your team is going to be? And then as an eagle, guys, check this out, 27% on all the customer volume on levels 1 through 6, 30% on level 7, and then you get paid up to 25% to an unlimited number of levels. So guys, I want you to do the math. You figure out, exactly how big you think your team can be, work towards that, teach people to go out there and gather those loyal customers, those customers that are going to use the service month after month after month after month. And I guarantee you this, any income goal that you set for yourself, you can certainly achieve using this compensation plan. Now, let's walk through the customer acquisition bonuses, because this can be a little bit confusing, but it becomes crystal clear as soon as you get promoted to manager and senior manager and all the way through Eagle. Now, when you take a look at our customer acquisition bonus chart, you're going to see here that you can earn between $100 and $195 on every one of these marketing bundles that is sold. Now, when you see the $240 and the $290 and the $320, that's because we added the $140 commission to that. But what I'm going to really concentrate on is the $100 all the way up to $195. Now, if you take a look at this chart, the key words on this chart right here are up to. SendOutCards will pay up to $195 for every marketing bundle that is sold as far as a customer acquisition bonus is concerned. Now, obviously, if they paid everybody that additional $195, the company would go out of business. So the question is, when we say up to, what does that mean? Who's going to get that $195? Well, this is divided up 5 ways. In fact, for every single marketing bundle that is sold, 5 different people could possibly be paid. Okay? If that marketing bundle that was sold was in your manager group, you would get $100 for that. If it's in your senior manager group, you would get an additional $50. If it's in your executive code, you get an additional $30. If it's in your senior exec group, you get an additional $10. And if it's in your Eagle distributorship, you would get an additional $5. Okay, so somebody like Jordan Adler, our #1 income earner, Eagle distributor, when he goes out and personally signs up somebody on a marketing bundle, he gets the $140 commission plus the entire $195, because that is his personal customer. Now, let me just explain how this works. Now, I'm going to tell you right from the beginning here that you're going to have to, watch this again and again and again to truly understand the power of it. But let's say, for example, that this is you, and you are an executive with SendOutCards. In other words, you got yourself promoted 3 times already. You're promoted to manager, senior manager, and executive. So you're sitting here as an executive. Well, let's say, for example, that you sold me a marketing bundle. So now the computer system at SendOutCards says, great, let's pay out some money. So the computer system says, who is Steve's upline manager? That person is going to receive a $100 customer acquisition bonus. The computer says, who is Steve's upline senior manager? That person is going to receive a $50 customer acquisition bonus. And the computer says, who is Steve's upline executive? That person is going to receive a $30 customer acquisition bonus. So when I come in with a marketing bundle, $180 is willing to be paid. Now, if you take a look at me and you, there's nobody between me and you. So you must be the manager, you must be the senior manager, and you must be the executive. So the 100, the 50, and the 30 for a total of $180 goes directly to your bank. Now, let's say, for example, I said, yeah, I want to become a distributor, and I bring in my buddy Pat with a marketing bundle. Another $180 is willing to be paid. I bring in Lisa with a marketing bundle. Another 180 is willing to be paid. And I bring in my friend Jill with a marketing bundle. Another 180 is willing to be paid. Well, once again, the computer system starts asking these questions. Well, if you look at me, okay, I'm not a manager yet. I'm not a senior manager yet, and I'm certainly not an executive. So the computer system says, all right, we've got 180, 180, 180 to be paid out. We need to find who the manager, senior manager, and executive is, so they go through me and they run directly into you. So that 180, 180, 180 goes directly to your bank. And you're saying to yourself, this is the greatest thing I ever saw in my life, because you don't even know who Pat, Lisa, and Jill are. Those are my friends, right? Now, let's say, for example, that I do everything necessary to become a manager. All right? I just promoted myself to manager. And the very next person that I bring into the business is my buddy Bob. And Bob came in with a marketing bundle. Well, once again, the computer system starts asking questions. The computer says, who is Bob's upline manager? That person's going to receive $100. Well, in this case, who is Bob's upline manager? Steve is. So that $100 stays with me. The computer says, who is Bob's upline senior manager and executive? Well, there's an extra $80 still willing to be paid, right? Well, if you go upline from Bob, I am not a senior manager. I am certainly not an executive. So the computer system continues to go upline. They run directly into you, okay? So that $80 right there goes to your bank. Now, I bring in my buddy Bill. I get paid the 100. The additional 80 goes to your bank. I bring in my friend Mary. I receive the 100. Another 80 goes to your bank. So far, I've made $300 in customer acquisition bonuses. You've made $960. Pretty good deal so far, right? Now watch this. My buddy Pat over here, Pat brings in Joe with a marketing bundle. Well, once again, $180 is willing to be paid. Well, I wasn't even a manager when I brought Pat in. All right, so Pat and all of Pat's people are still coded to you. So that 180 goes directly to your bank. Joe brings in Jane. Another 180 is willing to be paid. Joe's not a manager yet. Pat's not a manager yet. Computer looks upline. They run into you. You are the manager, senior manager, and executive. So that 180 goes directly to your bank. Over here, Bob brings in Susie. I get the 100, so that goes to my bank right here. The other 80 goes to your bank. Okay? Now, I continue to work, and let's say that I do everything necessary in order for me to become a senior manager. Now, Steve is a senior manager. All right, and the very next person that I bring in the business is my buddy Mike. Mike comes in with a marketing bundle. Once again, the computer system starts asking questions. The computer says, who is Mike's upline manager? That person receives 100. The computer says, who is Mike's upline senior manager? That person receives 50. And the computer says, who is Mike's upline executive? And that person receives 30. So in this case, Steve right here, I am obviously the manager. I'm the senior manager. So I get 150 of the 180. I'm not an executive, so the computer system searches upline for the first executive. They run into you, so that extra $30 goes directly to your bank. Everybody in this organization right here, you're going to pick up a $180 customer acquisition bonus. In this organization right here, you're going to pick up 80, and in this organization here, you pick up 30. Now, let's say that I did everything necessary in order for me to become an executive. And the very next person that I bring in, they come in with a marketing bundle. I'm going to get the 100, I get the 50, and I get the 30. Okay, so I get the full 180 just like you did as an executive. Okay, so I get the $180 customer acquisition bonus once I become an executive. What do you get? You don't get anything as far as customer acquisition bonuses. You still get the residuals on all of my customers, but I basically coded out of your organization. Now you're sitting there going, well, that's not a very good deal. No, it's not a very good deal. It's a great deal because in order for me to promote to executive, I had to leave a whole bunch of people in my wake. As a matter of fact, to go from point blank zero in this business to executive, I had to leave a minimum of 90 people, right? Because I had to become a senior manager myself, which is a minimum of 15 people. And then I had to create 5 senior managers, which is 5 people times 15. That's an additional 75 plus my 15. So that's 90 people. So in other words, in order for me to be an executive, I had to bring in a minimum, not personally, but in my organization, I had to bring in a minimum of 90 new distributors. So guys, you basically look at it like this. You gain 90, lose 1. Okay, because now I am an executive. So it takes 90 people to become an executive. Now, what do those 90 people that I just brought into my group have to do in order to become an executive? Well, they each have to bring in 90 people, right? Or in their organization. So that's 8,100 new distributors. Well, guys, 81 new distributors with a marketing bundle, you're going to either pick up 180 for them, you're going to pick up 80, or you're going to pick up 30, depending on what room they fall in. I'm going to let you do the math on that. But guys, you can make an awful lot of money building an organization of people who are gathering customers and showing other people how to gather customers. Now, like I said, you are really, really going to understand this as soon as you get promoted to manager or senior manager or above. Then you're going to really understand how these customer acquisition bonuses work. But I'll guarantee you this. Always be striving to hit the next promotion level. Don't ever be satisfied because you're a manager or a senior manager or an executive or a senior executive. And you can't even be satisfied when you're an eagle, because once you're an eagle, you're going to constantly bring new people into the organization. We have a very, very simple concept here. And the way that we share SendOutCards with people has become so easy because you can simply send somebody the link to the app. They can try out our product, and then you can talk to them and say, listen, do you want to become a customer or do you want to become a distributor? And if they want to become a distributor, you make sure you explain how the money works, and you'll walk them through this process and get them promoted to these different levels and make sure they understand the residuals that can be made by signing up those loyal customers. So you guys all have a great day, and I will see you at the top.